Chelsea once again lost to Manchester City 1-0. The title race was already over when Ben Chilwell got injured and that Snow White Marcos Alonso replaced him. Man, how can one player play so bad? That guy has got no skills, he has got no pace, he has got no stamina, he can't put across a single cross for the strikers, he can't defend, he can't do anything, but still he is being played like for I don't know how many matches. I am sure that there are many other players who can fill his position. And there are many good, even Callum Hudson-Odoi could play for that in that position. And I'm sure if since that Marcos Alonso has been starting for Chelsea, Chelsea have been dropping points. They are either drawing matches or losing the matches because the opponents know that this guy is the weak link and they always try to attack him. I've seen a couple of Chelsea matches wherein you can see Antonio Rudiger absolutely furious on Alonso. But I don't know why this Tuchel has some kind of soft corner on Marcos Alonso. He never blames him publicly. In the post-match interview after Man City loss, he was critical of the top 3 players. It's alright that the top 3 players did not perform well, but the weakest link in that team currently is Alonso. And still Tuchel is not critical of him. I fail to understand why. I am very sure, even if this is the Premier League, right? Any left back in the Premier League, in the Championship, in the League 1, in the League 2 or even in the Conference League, any left back of any team out there, if you put in place of Marcos Alonso, he will perform much better than that guy. The title was already gone, but there is one slim chance that Chelsea can snatch the title from Manchester City if Chelsea are able to pay £100 million to City, not for any player, but to give them Marcos Alonso for free on the top of £100 million and ask them to play him for the rest of the matches, for the remaining matches. Then just see the speed in which City will keep on dropping points. This is what Alonso has done for Chelsea. So to be very honest, should not be only on the starting 11. He should not be even on the bench. Lampard was very correct by keeping him out of the bench. He was not even named as a substitute when Lampard was there. He deserves the same similar treatment. He's so bad, so pathetic as a player. He's so pathetic. Chelsea should immediately sell him, immediately in this transfer window. And I'm not very sure which club would, be interested in buying this kind of guy. The second bad player for Chelsea has to be Saul Niguez, I guess, if that is his surname, Saul Niguez. His surname is as rich as Ferrero Rocher chocolate. But he plays like a 2 or 3 cents eclair. He plays so bad. But it is not worth, blaming him because anyway he's going to go definitely in the summer transfer. They are not going to convert his loan into permanent deal. Because not every loan player can be Mateo Kovacic. Not every loan player can turn into a Mateo Kovacic. They tried the similar formula thinking that he could be the next Kovacic, but it failed miserably. The third worst player for Chelsea has to be, it's Callum Hudson-Odoi. He can't dribble past a single player. He prefers to play on the left wing, so I felt that since Tuchel was starting him as a right wing back, I felt that he could play well from the left wing position. But in the couple of matches, he has been started on the left wing, but he can't dribble past a single player. The left wing position for Chelsea was ideally known as Eden Hazard position. That was occupied by him. That was named after him. I knew that it would be very hard to replace him, but at least it should have been replaced him with a player who has got at least 50% of his ability, of his magic. Callum Hudson-Odoi has none of it. I fail to understand that Chelsea are very active in selling their own, developed players, but why on the hell have they retained this guy? When Bayern Munich were interested in this guy, they should have sold him for £40 million. And I'm sure Bayern Munich have lost his interest after seeing his performance in the recent matches. He's not a good player, he's not of Chelsea standard at all. And whenever the camera focuses, and I've noticed this thing that whenever camera zooms on him, he makes some kind of facial expressions like he imitates somewhat like Eden Hazard, but he doesn't understand that whenever the camera used to be on Eden Hazard, it was due to his magic, some magical tricks, skills, goals, etc. But whenever camera is on him, it is due to some of his blunder, but he doesn't recognize it. He tries to make those facial styles copying Eden Hazard. The fourth worst player, the Moroccan Ziyech. Man, he was being known to be an Ozil for Chelsea. I remember I've seen so many matches of his in the Chelsea shirt, but there was only one single match, I don't remember exactly against whom it was, but wherein he had provided 3 assists. It was under Frank Lampard tenure. That was his best match and I thought that wow man, what a player we have signed. when he had provided 3 assists in that single match. And since then he has not performed well in a single match. He, against Man City, he couldn't even provide a single simple pass to Lukaku. He overdoes it, he overhits the ball. I don't know why he's there. He has no pace. He's not suited for the Premier League at all. He has no pace. He has no skills. He has nothing. But still we have signed this guy for 35 million pounds. We have to question the board who are making these signings, these horrible signings. Then that American guy, Mr. Pulisic. I have seen his couple of interviews wherein he said that he is the second fastest player at Chelsea after Timo Werner. But whenever you look at him running with the ball, I'm sure that he's even slower than Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta can easily, tackle him, defend him easily one-on-one with pace. He will outpace him for sure whenever Pulisic is running with the ball. He's so slow with the ball, but I don't know why he says that he's the second fastest player at Chelsea. That guy was supposed to be the next Eden Hazard for Chelsea. That's the reason why we had signed him. And the American media, there are certain channels in the American media, hype him so much that he's the next Eden Hazard for you. Man, he has the same problems as Hudson-Odoi. He can't dribble past a single player. Under Tuchel, I have not seen him. Under Lampard, he used to dribble past a few players in his first season. After his first season, he is not able to dribble past a single player. He has no pace, no stamina. He can't provide even assists. And I don't know why they have paid almost 60 million pounds for him. In Dortmund, he was a substitute player. Sancho and Dembele used to be ahead of him. So it means that Dortmund even did not value him. And Chelsea have replaced Eden Hazard with this guy. And the next 70-80 million pound player, Kai Havertz. Man, I don't understand who is the recruitment guy out there at the top of the board. Who buys all these players? Because whenever it was announced that Kai Havertz was going to sign for Chelsea, normally all Chelsea supporters would be logging onto some YouTube channel and some YouTube and watching his videos. So I watched his videos and I found at that time inside there nothing that special about him. He was always a 45-50 million pound player, but he was definitely not an 80-85 million pound player. And we have signed him. We had signed him initially as a right winger to replace Willian. But you could remember his first debut for Chelsea under Lampard. I'm sure that Saul Niguez's debut was much better than Kai Havertz's debut. It was so bad. He had failed as a right winger, so Lampard started him to play in the left wing position. He did not even perform in the left wing. So now we have introduced him as a false 9. He's playing as a false 9 for Chelsea because he's not good enough. He's not good enough to be a Chelsea player. And maximum goals in Bundesliga he had scored is 20 league goals in all competitions. And whenever you can score 20 goals in Bundesliga, you have to divide it by 2 whenever you come to the Premier League. So he will give you 10-15 goals for Chelsea. The Chelsea Academy product, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who had been hyped up, and he was superb under Sarri. Whenever I used to watch him under Sarri, he was the next big thing I felt. He used to dribble past players with ease under Sarri and he used to score goals as well. But now, his gameplay, I don't know what had changed in him. When Tuchel started him in certain matches before his injury, I could see that he would always, pass the ball backwards. He was not confident enough to dribble, but he used to slow the game actually. So he's another Chelsea own bottom player who is not good enough. And these guys have been retained. Hudson-Odoi, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. These guys have been retained, and we have sold in Jeremy Boga. Man, what a player he is. He was the ideal replacement for Eden Hazard. Jeremy Boga. The kind of skills, the kind of pace that guy has got. And his finishing outside the box, that is the kind of player that Chelsea needs. And Chelsea, to be very honest, are underperforming. The primary reason for it is that we have got no genuine dribblers. There is not a single player in Chelsea who can dribble past 2-3 players and it will create space for the striker to attack. Look at this now. Who is the genuine dribbler at Chelsea? Mateo Kovacic. Mateo Kovacic is the only player who can go past 2 or 3 players, and whenever he has the ball, you can feel that he's not going to lose the ball for sure. Otherwise, the entire top 3, whichever player Tuchel plays in the top 3 position, whether it be Mount, whether it be Lukaku, whether it be Havertz, whether it be Ziyech, Pulisic or Callum Hudson-Odoi, you have got no trust in them. They can lose the ball at any time, and that is what happened against Manchester City. That is the reason why these 3 players are invisible. And Kovacic was the only one who was carrying the ball forward, and he provided a wonderful assist to Lukaku. So the top players out at Chelsea right now has to be Antonio Rudiger at number 1 position. He is the captain of Chelsea. Even though he does not have the armband, but he is the undisputed captain of Chelsea from the back, at the back. Then the second best player at Chelsea at this age has to be Thiago Silva. What a player is, what a player. And then it has to be Mateo Kovacic, N'Golo Kante, and even Jorginho. Then there was another player, the striker which we had signed, which we hope that he will, repeat his Bundesliga form in the Premier League. And as I said, to repeat the Bundesliga form in the Premier League is very difficult. So Timo Werner was not able to match his brilliance that he showed at RB Leipzig. But I don't know why, but I have a soft corner for Timo Werner. He reminds me of Torres. Although Torres was one of the worst players at Chelsea, but still I used to support him. Whenever he used to score a goal, I used to enjoy it. And same thing goes with Timo Werner. I don't know, because of his hair color or his raw pace, he reminds me of Torres. And I won't be critical of him. Although he's not scoring goals for Chelsea, but I still like him somehow. First transfer window was known when we had signed Danny Drinkwater, David Zappacosta, Emerson, I guess. This kind of players we had signed, and Alvaro Morata. How can one forget Alvaro Morata? That was known as our worst transfer window. And I am very sure that this is the second worst transfer window. The last summer transfer window, when we had signed these Havertz, Werner, Ziyech, all these kind of players. You should own up that responsibility, because the manager is really good. If you give him good players, the team will perform very well, very well. The reason why we are, fighting for the top 4 right now is because we had no ideal replacement for that left back position. I again come back to the left back because I can't, forget that guy, that Alonso. So bad, so bad. If we had loaned out this Alonso and kept Emerson, I'm sure that Chelsea would be close to City in terms of points, because we were the leaders. Till Chilwell was there, we were leading the table. And since Chilwell injury down, now we are fighting for the top 4. And that looks difficult as well. That looks very difficult right now.